Hello, my legion. This video is called Kicking It Old School, my Laserdisc collection. Now, one thing, before we got into the big video thing, we first purchased video disc player. And the one thing, my dad got one, it was $99. And it was at a place called Radio Shack. It was a video disc player. And what it wasn't a laser disc player. It was something like video disc, looked something like this, except it was closed off. It had like a thick plastic border around each one of them, right? And you had to place it in the machine at an angle like this. And hopefully it didn't break when you loaded it. And we got one. And we saw a few movies, like we saw Alma Puts a Cat, Rodan, Godzilla, Twilight Zone, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, Victoria, and we rented Sharky's machine. However, if you didn't load it correctly, the machine would break, and then we had to take it back to Mace Electronics. That's when Mace Electronics used to be around the Mill Creek Mall. And I tried to load Sharky's machine, and it broke. And we took it back the first time. My dad got another one. And my mother tried to load Victoria in it because she wanted to see it again. Well, we saw it like 2-3 times. And it broke also. So my dad took it back and got a regular VCR. Thank goodness he did, because like a week or so, like 2 weeks after we took it back, you know, they had like video discs you could rent. They got rid of all their video discs they rented. They got rid of all the video disc players, and they discontinued that. I've never seen any of those different types of video discs, you know. And we got a VCR for $138. And the videos, I mean, the first two videotapes we saw were Superman 3 and Kramer versus Kramer. And our first VCR was great. It was weird because the remote was a plug-in, and it was a wire remote. There was a giant wire, and then you had a remote right there. We never had anything else like that. Everything else was like a wireless remote. Well, anyways, like a year or so after that, the old video discs went out of style because they were junk. They started coming out with a laser disc, and my late uncle got a laser disc around 91, 92 or something like that, and he got a few laser discs which he gave to me, which I still have, and I wanted to share them with you. Okay, I want to start with the most unusual one. Now, the first 3 video discs were acquired by his son. Now, when they lived in an apartment that was real close to the mall, and he managed movie theaters there because he was a real movie guy before I was, because he knows most of the movies and stuff. His son worked at like this electronics place selling video discs, and he got a couple things. He got this for free. It's a laser disc sampler of music videos, and this is the small size laser disc. That's the only small one he has, and it has 5 music videos. A strange selection. It's You Can Call Me Out from Paul Simon done live, Madonna's Oh Father, Get Up from REM, Trail of Broken Hearts from Katie Lang and the Recliners, and Frank Sinatra's Fly Me to the Moon. Very unusual one. And then this next one is a Laserdisc sampler. Now, he got this for free because he asked the people who work with it, they were going to get rid of this if he could have it. And basically it's a 2-sided thing, just doing like how great the sound is, how great the picture is, and stuff like that in Laserdisc. You know. And this is the back of this one too. Okay. And that's what that one was. The next one was a 1-sided big one from Sports Illustrated called On the Edge. I think he got this for $20. Now this is like a Warren Miller film thing, like showing like skiing and surfing and stuff like that. Filmed real fancy, like Warren Miller used to do. If you want to ever have on for it, they show Warren Miller stuff all the time. See, that's a 2-sided one for that. Okay, now the rest of the ones are the ones my uncle has. And basically my uncle just has like Walt Disney stuff and John Wayne stuff. This is one that's neither though. He has this from the RKO Classic Collection. I Married a Woman with George Gobel and Diana Dors. George Gobel was a really unusual celebrity. He was only in a couple of movies, but his main claim to fame was being on Hollywood Squares. Really, he was a very unusual comedian, unusual celebrity. Really is. This wasn't a bad little comedy he was in. I liked it. I liked all these ladies, just are all good, you know. And then here's a John Wayne one, The Great Art, The Sea Chase, with John Wayne and Lana Turner. Really cool movie. Flip it over. And most of these are two-sided. Well, these are all two-sided. They might have like half the movie, and then they say go to turn to the other side, and then you have to flip to the other side and watch the other movie. But it's a front-loading. These it opens up just like a CD player, but it's really big, you know. And you just put the tape, the disc in like that. This is the other John Wayne one he has. This is a good one. Allegheny Uprising. This has most of the stars that were in his groundbreaking movie Stagecoach that made him a star. And this came out not too long after. This ain't a bad little black and white movie, John Wayne. And it's a Ted Turner movie, but this is black and white. It's not the colorized version. Thanks. Now this one is a really good one. I highly recommend for anyone who never heard it. In Search of the Castaways. It's a really cool action-adventure movie from Walt Disney. And I remember I rented it in Fort Bragg and made a copy of it. Not this one, but I made a copy of it on video of the random one I did. Everyone thought it was Gilligan's Island because it said Castaways in it. It was Gilligan's Island that had Gilligan's Island on the title. You know, but this is really good. It's like an action-adventure type movie from the 60s. Haley Mills in it. And Pollyanna. It's pretty good. It's a Walt Disney one. Now here's probably the most classic of all the Walt Disney movies he has. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This is a good little movie. You know, especially like in animation. This is a groundbreaking animated movie that they did. It's a cool art right there in the Queen and stuff. Pretty neat. And this is probably the most recent of the movies he had. This is okay, well, let me show you something. This is, what year is this? This is I think this is 94 or 95. And they stopped making laser discs around this time. It started phasing out, and then it became shrunk down, became DVDs, which we all know today. But The Far Off Place, I'll show you how expensive they used to be. This was $102.90 originally. Then they finally reduced it to $9.99 because $102, that's expensive. But I remember the video age, whenever videotapes, when E.T. came out, they released the videotape, and it was like $300-400 for the videotape, which is amazing. But they were not like that anymore. But they're really expensive, and these laser discs were really expensive back then. But this is The Far Off Place, probably the most recent the ones he has. And the very last one he got was, mostly all of his movies are PG rated or G rated. This is the only PG-13 rated one, and it's the only double Laserdisc one. The Last Emperor, which was winner of 9 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director for 1987. And this is The Last Emperor, and it opens up. Real cool like this. It said the adventure comes among only once in history. What? Alright! Said an ancient like this comes along only once in 10,000 years. Here's the back cartoon. Really cool. So that's my Laserdisc collection that my uncle was nice enough to give me. So until next time, take care, my league.